And there's we work with Expedia every day. Actually, I learned, it was at a meeting with Expedia that they actually said something over the web, a thing called the billboard effect. The billboard effect basically, it applies a lot in my business and travel, and probably applies in other business too. Where every day, if you go to Expedia and you're planning a vacation to New York City, you are going to pick your airfare, your hotel, then you would be in the market to experience some type of attraction. Attraction is going to the top of the Empire State Building, going on a Circle Line cruise, and actually my services are an option as an attraction. Could be you could do a day trip to Atlantic City on Hampton Luxury Liner, that's an attraction. You could do a day trip to East Hampton or Southampton, that's an attraction as well. So the billboard effect, the one common way is someone will just look at the thing and say, hey, I want to buy it right now, that looks good. I'm going to New York City, I like to gamble, I want to go to the ocean, I like to go to Atlantic City. Oftentimes people don't buy at that point. Oftentimes people look at your listing and say, that sounds kind of interesting, luxury liner, seems like a nice bus. They go to casino, that sounds great. A week later, 2 weeks later, they Google you and they buy it directly through your website. So that's what's commonly known as the billboard effect, where your listing on different websites can basically bring other business in the future besides the actual point of sale which you're promoting. One thing that helped us a lot using these sites, it helped us launch last year our wine tour. To give a little background on the wine tour, it's actually a program we started last summer. It's going well. We run the wine tour. We do pickups for individuals from New York City, Plainview, 4 Point Sheridan, Exit 48, and also the Marriott Ronkonkoma, Courtyard Marriott in Ronkonkoma. And we started running those tours on Saturdays. Now we're running both Saturday and Sunday. And the way that flash marketing sites helped us was it really helped us launch the service, because there's 44 seats on a luxury liner, so if we sell a ticket through Groupon and we sell a certain percentage of the bus, because any empty seat is lost revenue, we're going to start selling through a website like Groupon and sell a certain X percentage of the bus. Then you work with this reseller, that reseller, work through your direct sales. But it was really, Groupon helped us to really launch the service, because Groupon got the word out there. Because I approached Groupon and said, hey, and I have an idea for a tour. And I tried this tour many different ways, and it was really just cost prohibitive to, like I said before, take an ad out, and if you look at what your target demographic is, you say, hey, folks reading the New York Times, that would be a great market of New Yorkers who'd like to go out and have a nice day of wine tasting. But it's really cost prohibitive. You can't afford to do it. So Groupon helped us launch the tour. On our first promotion, we sold 1,200 tickets, and that really got us going. You got enough people on the bus to start it and really give us momentum to start selling to other resellers, to sell through our website, and basically got everything going. We actually got up to this past fall, we topped out at doing like 9 buses on a Saturday and 5 on a Sunday. Like we really picked up, and we got a lot of momentum this summer into the fall. We did a program this winter combining jazz. There's a big promotion on the North Fork of Long Island called Jazz on the Vine, and kind of not directly affiliated, but associated with it, they had a lot of jazz musicians then. So we combined the wine tasting with a live jazz performance, which is very popular. So even in February, where people think, it's not really top of mind, I'm not thinking of going to do wine tasting, it could be 20 degrees. A lot of folks really like the idea of listening to jazz, sitting, sipping wine, and we actually were able to fill buses in February, which was amazing. So that worked out really well. But the whole point is, the flash marketing really helped us get the word out there without spending, an exorbitant amount in advertising. You will pay for the commission to the flash marketing site. You will take a price cut in launching it, but if you use it as a tool, it's the same thing as, if you go run an ad in the New York Times or somewhere else, you pay full price for the ad. You have to measure your return on investment. So that seemed to work out pretty well. I think just some concluding thoughts, for your business is that it's a tool to use. It's where people are right now on the web. They're reading their inboxes all the time. They're seeing deals and offers come through. It's a great way to start something. If it's a product like the Atlantic City, we're able to use it very consistently. Some products we'll only use once or twice, but we want to get the word out to like Living Social and Groupon's database in New York City is over 1 million people. Even the databases on Long Island are pretty large. Groupon's database on Long Island is probably close to 500,000 or better now. Living Social's got a big presence. We've also done great deals with websites like TravelZoo that have promoted stuff for us. So it's a great way to get the word out there regarding a product or service. So, so really that concludes my presentation. So if anyone have any questions, that'd be great.
Mike, how often do you do these things? I mean, what was the last one and when's the next one?
We do it kind of like probably once a quarter, because we have a lot of like when we start a new tour product or we start a new tour series, like we'll always tweak, for instance, our wine tours a little bit. So if we're going to offer a new component, like now we're going to feature jazz, or now we're going to feature like rock, blues, or country in a tour, we'll do it to kind of spike sales and get interest, and that'll kind of start a chain of different events of working with different resellers and working through direct sales from there. So probably about once a quarter.
You got one coming out soon?
Yeah, there will be one coming out soon actually, because we have a new series of tours coming out for the late spring and summer.
And how do you choose which one? You know, Living Social, Groupon. I mean, can you negotiate with them?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of competition. You know, when Groupon first came out, they were by far the most popular, and they still are. Groupon is probably about 50% of the flash marketing business. Living Social probably has about 15 or 20%. But there's a lot of competitors. There's sites like BloomSpot we use sometimes. They're kind of a more upscale type of website that does more upscale experiences and upscale hotels, which seems to work well with wine tours. Mass marketed products like Atlantic City work well with pretty much anything. Specifically, Groupon works really well, or regular Living Social. So there's a couple like Rue La La is another example of an upscale website where the wine tour is done well. So
you know, I got a text yesterday from one of these, and it's a brand new one. They're open. I got the alert that they were following me on Twitter, and it was I think they're out of Chicago, and it was like Group Daily, and instead of with Daily, you know, with one L, they had two L's, so you know, if you look at it quick, you think they're one of the big boys, but I could tell from the number of followers they weren't. But I'm sure they're going to pick up quick. But there's a lot of you know, a lot of new competitors going out against the big guys right now.
Yeah, there was a company called Buy With Me that I was pretty familiar with, and I was friendly with some of the folks on their management team, and they were expanding at a really rapid clip. They had done an acquisition every month for 6 months, and then unfortunately they just didn't make it. It is a tough business. The business definitely has flaws to it from the business perspective, from Groupon's perspective. You know, they had their IPO, and they've been under a ton of scrutiny. One specific thing is they have a very, very liberal return policy, where if you buy something with Groupon and you just say, gosh, I didn't like it, they're going to refund your money. You know, so there are flaws. There definitely are flaws to a business model. It's that, you know, I think like anything, you have to look at it and say, how can it help my business? It's, you know, it's not necessarily whether it's good. It's not necessarily whether it's good or bad. It's that it has some things that are certainly very, very good. You're going to reach a lot of people. You're going to get your info out to a lot of people, where normally would have cost a lot more. So you just have to manage what your cost is, what your net price is, what you negotiate with the website, how they sell it, etc. And also how much capacity you have. For a restaurant to sell tables on a Friday night, it may not be a good idea, because you could have sold out that restaurant on Friday because everyone loves coming to your restaurant. But if you're launching a brand, if you have the best Thai chef in Long Island and no one knows, it could be a good thing to get the word out there to say, hey, this famous thing is opening up, or this great service is opening up. Like, for instance, you know, we're doing a lot of wine tours. I'm looking at doing a partnership with a biking company that does bike trips. Just people rent bikes in New York City and other cities. So if I started doing something like that in the wineries, I'd probably use a website like that to say, hey, we're out here, we're doing something different. You can go bike 20 miles and then do a wine tasting or have this experience. So it's good to get the word out.
Also, a bus to take them home after that.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. They can't drink that much. That's the whole point. They have to drink a certain amount of water.
Do that on helmets, okay?
Yeah. And they have helmets, and it's very safe.
Do they have flight bags on the bus?
Yes, sir.
Do you find that you're close to Atlantic City will prevent you from branching out to these new casinos where they're popping up, because you'll be aiding them direct competition to them. So is that going to preclude you from expanding in those areas?
That's a really good question. I actually have some history with that. We had large contract with Foxwoods in 2002 to 2004. Foxwoods, was and probably still is one of the most successful casinos in the world. Very large. Everything's relative to Long Island. When a Long Islander was leaving Long Island and they had the same travel distance to Foxwoods and to Atlantic City, they preferred Atlantic City. We really never got more than 20% of the market to go to Foxwoods. And we had a great contract with Foxwoods. They were a great partner, and just no matter what, people preferred Atlantic City. People prefer Atlantic City because for a day tripper, because it has actually the highest rated boardwalk in America, which is a fun fact. They also have a new $2.5 billion casino called Revel, which has like 12 restaurants and all new spas and entertainment, and really, really beautiful. It doesn't preclude me from doing new relationships, but we do have one service to the Aqueduct Casino, to right next to JFK. That's more of a day destination. It seems that the customers really prefer to go in Atlantic City because of the diversity of things they can do when they're there. They don't have to just gamble. It could be a husband and wife, and the husband loves to gamble and the wife wants to take a walk on the boardwalk, or vice versa. They get top name entertainment, like in the summer they'll get Lady Gaga, Celine Dion. They will get some pretty interesting acts. It's the second largest gaming market in America behind Las Vegas, and actually has a lot to offer, and it actually really developed tremendously in the last 5 years. I'm a big proponent of Atlantic City because I send 7 buses a day there. I'm always trying to promote Atlantic City. Atlantic City, since the Borgata was built, they built the Caesars Pier. They really have they have 2 of the best Condé Nast spas in America at Caesars and Borgata. Probably the new spa at Revel will be up there as well. They get the big name entertainment. They have a 100-store outlet center there as well, which a lot of people don't know. You can walk right from the boardwalk. Every type of dining, from regular buffets to Wolfgang Puck and Bobby Flay. So you can really go there and have a really nice escape. And our Hampton Luxury Liner service also goes to Borgata, which is a really nice upscale property, which has the Bobby Flay and the Wolfgang Puck, and has the top Condé Nast spa, and is really a very legitimate resort destination to get away, where you live locally here in Long Island, you want to get away with your husband or wife for the weekend and have a little bit of an escape. It's a great place to go, as well as Resorts Casino.
We're ready. I think we're ready to go right now.
Sure. I know a good bus.
We have a liner out there right now. We can jump right on it.
Yeah.
Is there time for dinner?
All right, let's give Mike a big round of applause.
Great job. Great job.